63 parts of a friendly letter. So why do you think they said friendly and not just parts of a letter? Samara? Well, not really. It's not, because you could. I'll explain that in a second.
Because it's like.
If it's not friendly, I'll give you guys a hint. The other kind of letter is a professional letter. So what's the difference between a friendly and a professional letter? Bella, do you have something to say with that since I kind of cut you off?
A letter from a friend.
Right. So am I going to write my friend Nikki the same way I'm going to write Brother Barkus?
No.
No, because Brother Barkus is my boss, right? I'm going to say, hello, how are you? I was asking this question because I'm concerned about this. But if I'm writing a letter to my friend, I'm going to be like, hey, I hope you're doing good. What do you think about going here this weekend? Is that the same thing?
No.
I use words for Brother Barkus like I'm concerned, I wanted your opinion, things like that. But I was just like, hey, I was thinking about doing this. Do you want to go? Do you see the difference? Okay. So you still don't want to use like slang words. What do I mean by slang words? Do I mean cuss words? No. What do I mean by slang words, Lillian?
Like words that you could say in the street.
Kind of like, it's more like I'm not going to write LOL, right? Those are slang words. Or BRB. Am I going to write that in a letter?
No.
No. Even if it's a friendly letter, you don't want to do that because you still want to be somewhat elegant, right? Does that make sense? Okay, so let's look at this page. A friendly letter is a letter to a friend or relative. Some friendly letters are written to thank someone for a gift or a special thing that person did. Some friendly letters are written to send congratulations, to give instructions, or to give advice. I'm going to tell you guys are going to be writing a friendly letter about giving instructions, okay? Friendly letters can simply be a way to help someone catch up on the news in your life. So everyone needs to look at their page because it's going to show us specifically where things are. So make sure you're looking at your page, okay, Keegan? Okay, everyone see the purple boxes on the side. And then they have arrows. That's them pointing to what it is. So it says the heading includes the writer's address and the date. So follow that arrow. Do you see the header is in the top right corner? That is the person writing their address and the date that they wrote the letter, okay? Why would they put an address? Charisma?
So their friend who will be writing it to could write one back and then know the address.
Right. They're writing their address so that if their friend wants to write them back, it's there, right? Does that make sense? The date kind of just helps that person know about when they wrote this, right? And that kind of helps with also, say you get a lot of letters from this person and you want to look at the most recent, it'll tell you, right? Okay, the greeting. Everyone say greeting. Says hello to the person getting the letter. So it says, Dear Jason. That means Jason is getting the letter. If I'm writing a letter to Bella, am I going to put, Dear Sister Douglas? No. Does that make sense for me to address myself in a letter I am writing to Bella? No. So I'd say, Dear Bella, right? Then we have the body. The body is those 3 paragraphs. It's pointing to just the middle one. But the body, everyone say body. Is the same as the body for any paper. It's the meat of it. It is mainly the middle paragraph in this one, okay? Because the body gives the most information. Does anyone remember what we call that first paragraph? What's that first paragraph when we write a paper? Do you have an idea, Ben?
The opening?
It has the opening, but the first paragraph is called the introduction or the intro. Okay? So the introduction is that first paragraph. So say that, because we will get this year to where we're writing 5-paragraph papers. Okay? Any paragraph in the middle is called the body. Okay? Then we have that paragraph at the end. Does anyone remember what that one's called? Lillian?
The closing.
Close. Conclusion. It means kind of the same thing, though. Conclusion. Okay? So we have the introduction where it tells me kind of like the setting and the starter information, kind of lets you know what the paper is going to be about. The body gives me all the information I need, and the conclusion ties everything together so that you remember everything that they said. Does that make sense? All right. Now, look at the bottom. It says the closing says goodbye. It says your friend Parker. So that means Parker is the one that wrote the letter, right? So Parker wrote the letter, so he's saying who it's from. It's from your friend Parker, right? Then our last part is the signature, and that's the name of the writer, okay? It doesn't necessarily have to be in cursive. It's called the signature even if it's not in cursive, okay? All right. Look at that little green box. Commas are used in the heading, greeting, and closing of a friendly letter. Let's look at how commas are used in the heading. So everyone go to the top where it's the heading. Remember, the heading is the address of the writer, okay? You guys see that? How are commas used in that heading? Bella.
For one, the city and the state.
It divides the city and the state. There's one more comma. Who can tell me that one? Samara? The day and the year, right? And that's how you write any date if you write out the whole thing, okay? Between the date and the year. Now, how is it used in the greeting? Where is the comma in the greeting? Lillian?
Jason and I.
Good. It's at the end of the greeting. It's after Jason, right? Go ahead and do that over there, sweetie, so you can get hand sanitizer. All right. It's after the name. How is it used in the closing? Grace, how's it used in the closing? Where is there a comma in the closing?
Between your friend and Parker.
Right, it's after your friend, okay? Because it's saying your friend, Parker. There's a pause there, right? All right, good. Now look at the guided practice. For what purpose was this friendly letter written? Well, first we have to read the friendly letter, right? So let's read it. Dear Jason, I'm glad you liked the s'mores we had at the picnic. If you'd like to try making one yourself, here's how to do it. You will need a graham cracker, part of a chocolate bar, 2 big marshmallows, a stick, and a bonfire. First, break the graham cracker in half. Lay the chocolate bar on one half. Next, hold the marshmallows on the stick over the fire until they get soft and slightly brown on the outside. Then, slide the marshmallows off the stick with your fingers and lay them on top of the chocolate. Finally, press the other half of the graham cracker on top of make a sandwich. Almost everybody likes s'mores, even though they're a little sticky. Have fun making them. Have a fun time making them. Your friend, Parker. So what was the purpose of this letter? Keegan, what was the purpose? What was Parker doing?
Telling him how to make a s'more.
Right, so giving instructions, right? The purpose was to give instructions on how to make a s'more. So that's what you need to write. In some way, that's what you need to write. To give instructions on making a s'more. So write that down for number 1. Write that down. Boileon, write it down. Giving instructions on how to make a s'more. Alright, look at number 2. Who lives at the address in the heading? Who lives in the address at the heading? Charisma?
Jason.
Not Jason. Boileon?
Parker.
Parker. Remember, the heading gives the address of the person writing the letter. Okay? So number 2 is Parker. Number 2 is Parker. Did you write that down, Lincoln? Okay. Keegan?
Yesterday at church, there was a Brother West.
Alright, and number 3. When was this letter written? Mary, when was it written?
October 23 of 2004.
Good. October 23rd, 2004. You need to write that down how they have it written. So you need to make sure you put a comma after the 23rd. Okay? Then flip it over and look at page 64. Okay. On page 64, it wants you to label the parts of the letter. Write the letter of the correct name next to each part. So, A is body, B is closing, C is greeting, D is heading, and E is signature. If you forget one of these, you can always look at the front, right, as a reminder. Then you need to answer questions 6 through 10. What information is the greeting of the letter? What punctuation mark is used between the city name and the state name? In which part of the letter do you find the writer's name? What is the purpose of Jason's letter to Parker? Name one of the reasons for writing a friendly letter. Okay? All of this can be found on this page and on page 63. Okay?